If your player feels slow, your jump shot timing feels different every game, and you swear your controller has a mind of its own in NBA 2K26, it's probably not your build, it's your PC settings. And today I'm gonna show you the 7 biggest settings absolutely destroying your input response in NBA 2K26, including hidden Windows settings, Nvidia setting, controller problems, and one graphics option almost nobody talks about. By the end of this video, your game is gonna feel smoother, faster, and way more responsive. And trust me, the difference is instant. Let's fix it. Turn off VSync immediately. First setting, and honestly, this one alone fixes input delay for a lot of players. VSync. If VSync is on inside NBA 2K26, turn it off immediately. Here's why. VSync syncs your frame rate to your monitor refresh rate to stop screen tearing. Sounds good in theory, but in competitive games like 2K, it adds input latency. That means slower dribble combos, delayed jump shot timing, slower defensive reactions, and a heavy feeling movement, especially in the City, Rec, Pro Aim, and online park games. Your controller input has to wait for the next frame refresh before appearing on screen. That tiny delay, you feel it, and in NBA 2K timing windows, milliseconds matter. So go to video settings, find VSync, turn it off. Now, if screen tearing bothers you, I'll show you a better solution later using Nvidia settings, but for now, VSync off immediately. Your FPS is too low. Next problem, your frame rate is probably too low or unstable. A lot of players think, as long as the game runs, I'm fine. No, NBA 2K is heavily tied to frame consistency. If your FPS keeps bouncing around, your jump shot timing changes. That's why some games feel smooth and others feel terrible. Here's what you want: minimum 60 FPS, stable frame pacing, no massive drops during gameplay. Here's what I recommend lowering first: crowd details, shadow quality, ambient occlusion, reflections, volumetrics. These settings kill performance but barely affect gameplay visuals. And if you're on a mid-range PC, lowering these can massively reduce delay. Also turn on an FPS counter. Use Steam FPS counter, MSI Afterburner, or Nvidia overlay. If your FPS dips every possession, that's part of your delay problem. Windows game mode and power settings. Now let's fix Windows itself, because Windows loves sabotaging gaming performance. First, game mode. Go to settings, gaming, game mode, make sure it's on. This helps prioritize system resources for NBA 2K26. But here's the important one most people miss. Power mode, if your PC is on, balance, power saver, or some OEM silent mode, your CPU may not be boosting properly, which creates stutters, inconsistent frame times, and delayed responsiveness. So do this: go to power and battery settings, set it to high performance or ultimate performance if available. If you don't see ultimate performance, open command prompt as admin and type this in. That should unlock it. This alone can make gameplay feel way smoother on some systems, especially gaming laptops. NBA 2K26 is a completely different game when your inputs are actually instant. If this video helped, hit subscribe, because the players winning the most games aren't just better, they're optimized. Nvidia control panel settings. Now we're getting into the big fixes. Open Nvidia control panel. Go to manage 3D settings. These settings are huge for reducing latency in NBA 2K26. Here's exactly what to change. Low latency mode, set this to ultra. This reduces the number of frames queued by the CPU. Translation: your input reach the game faster. Power management mode, set this to prefer maximum performance. This keeps your GPU fully awake during gameplay. No random downclocking. Max frame rate, if you have a 144Hz monitor, cap it like around 141 FPS. 165Hz monitor, cap it around 162. 240Hz monitor, cap it around 237. Why? Because uncapped FPS can create unstable frame pacing. and bad frame pacing feels like input lag. Vertical sync off always. Monitor technology. If you have G-Sync, enable it. This is much better than VSync for smooth gameplay. You get less tearing, smoother frames, lower latency. Best combo, G-Sync on, VSync off in-game, FPS capped slightly below refresh rate. That setup feels amazing in 2K. Controller input delay fixes. Now let's talk controllers, because some of y'all are making your delay way worse without realizing it. First, if possible, stop using Bluetooth. Bluetooth adds latency, especially cheap motherboard Bluetooth adapters. Use wired USB always, especially for Comp Pro aim, stage, rank modes. Now if you must use wireless, use an official wireless adapter if possible. Overclocking your controller polling rate. A standard control polls at around 125 Hz, but with overclocking you can increase responsiveness dramatically. Now disclaimer, only do this if you know what you're doing, but many competitive PC players use HID-USB-F or similar polling tools to reduce controller latency, and yes, you can feel the difference, especially while dribbling. Another huge settings, hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. Go to settings, system, display, graphics, default graphics settings, and turn on hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. This can reduce latency on modern GPUs, especially RTX cards, newer AMD cards, and Windows 11 system. Now, results vary slightly by system, but for most players, gameplay feels snappier. Your monitor's settings are probably wrong. Here's the brutal truth. Some of y'all bought a 144 Hz monitor and you're still playing at 60 Hz. Seriously, go to display settings, advanced display, and verify your monitor refresh rate. Set it to 120 Hz, 144 Hz, 165 Hz, or whatever your monitor supports, because if Windows is stuck at 60 Hz, your game instantly feels delayed. Also, turn on your monitor's game mode, low latency mode, or instant response settings. Different brands call it different things, but it reduces processing delay inside the monitor itself. And yes, that matters a lot in timing based games like NBA 2K26. Internet versus input delay. Quick bonus tip, not all delay is input delay. Sometimes it's network latency, especially the city, park, and rec. If your online game feels delayed but my career feels smooth, that's severe latency. To improve it, use Ethernet instead of Wi-Fi. Close background downloads, stop streaming while gaming, use the closest server region possible. But remember, even with the perfect internet, bad PC settings still create delay. You need both optimized. So to recap, the biggest fixes are: turn off VSync, stabilize your FPS, use high performance power mode, optimize Nvidia settings, use wired controller connection, enable high refresh rate, and disable Windows junk interfering with gameplay. Do all of this and NBA 2K26 will feel way more responsive instantly. If this helped you out, drop a like, subscribe, and comment which fix made the biggest difference for you. And if you want, I can also make the best Nvidia settings for NBA 2K26, best graphics settings for FPS, best controller settings, or full zero delay optimization guide. I'll catch you all in the next one. Alright guys, have a great day.